Go.
Oh, I didn't even see you come in. How are ya? I got my nefarious pet. All evil supervillains must have their pet, right? So this is Dexter. Hello, Dexter. Heath is around somewhere. We might see him by the end of the video. But just to fill you in on why you're seeing what you're seeing, my wife really took to the online teaching and has submitted a few videos, and I don't want to be left behind. And I kind of miss actually presenting myself to you all, and I imagine you all miss seeing my wonderful smiling face. No, they don't. So I decided to send a video. I think it's going to serve multiple purposes. I really have a general script in front of me, but I'm going to try to answer some questions, kind of explain what we are going to be doing going forward, and I just feel like talking it out and saying it in a video is just something that's more natural for me than posting announcements and comments and little write-ups on Blackboard. Love Blackboard, it's great and everything, but I just feel better actually talking to you all. So first order of business, as you know, I always try to do like housekeeping first and foremost before I actually like teach or lecture or anything. I've received a couple emails from a few students asking about deadlines for assignments. In particular, some assignments, when I posted them, I said Sunday night, 11:59 p.m., but I believe the writing participation discussion assignment, I didn't have a deadline for. In particular, the discussion board comment. Unless I say differently, the assignments are the end of the week, Sunday, 11:59 p.m. If there's an assignment that I feel is time sensitive or that needs to be submitted before the end of that week, I'll go ahead and I will say it. I'll either write it up in the assignment or I'll put an announcement on the announcements or I'll send you an email. So unless you hear differently, you have the full week to turn anything in. That having been said, I've had to adjust some things. I've had to tweak some things. I know necessarily nothing's perfect as far as what I submit on Blackboard and everything. So I hope you all give me the benefit of the doubt, and I can promise I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If something happens, you have a snafu, you can't turn an assignment in when it's supposed to be, let me know what's going on. I think almost all of my assignments I have set up that you literally could turn them in for the entirety of the year. They're not set to shut off. There's not a deadline by the end of the week. I just know the deadline. But if something comes up and if you turn an assignment late, just, let me know where you're coming from. Let me know what's going on. I will take that into account and we can adjust and everything. Like like I said before with attendance and participation, everybody gets, 1 or 2. Don't make a habit out of it. Just let me know where you're coming from. So the structure moving forward, honestly, it's interesting because I told you all at the beginning of the semester you were going to have 4 exams. We did 3 before the lockdown, shutdown, closure, whatever you want to call it, and you all have recently submitted your 4th exam. Now, I could say things have changed and I could take these chapters that we have going forward and I could set up a 5th exam, do an optional thing, say I'm going to drop your lowest exam, etc., etc. I could tweak and do whatever, but I would feel that that would be me letting the situation dictate who I am instead of me trying to take control of the situation. And more importantly, as I told you from day one, I am a man of my word. And since we've already done all 4 of your exams during the year, with the exception of the final, you've done all your exams for the year. But I did also tell you that 1/4 of your grade was attendance and participation. And so I'm going to have, if you haven't seen it yet, you will see that I'm going to have writing assignments every week that are in response to the chapters. These writing assignments will also have Easter eggs. These are little bonus points that you can get for attendance and participation. They're usually trivia questions that I ask during the narration of my PowerPoints. they can't hurt you. The Easter eggs, that's another question I had. Well, how many points am I going to lose if I don't know all the Easter eggs? You lose none. The Easter eggs are just bonus. They're happy little bonuses you can get. If you happen to know what I'm talking about, if you happen to know what I'm asking about, then you can get some bonus points. At the same time, we're not in class to cheat. Look it up if you can and figure it out if you want those bonus points. I'm certainly not going to call you out for it. But what I am going to do is we're going to have assignments moving forward, and I'm going to count them towards your attendance and your participation. Now, I'm doing this partly because we have the rest of this semester, and I don't want you to feel like you're literally just sitting there biding time until the final. I'm doing it because I did say attendance and participation was going to be part of your grade, and now we're not face-to-face anymore. I can't give you the group assignment / paper, either or that we were planning on doing. So having these assignments and having them count towards your attendance and participation makes sense. There's a bit of a selfish reason for why I'm doing this too. And it has to do with why, in my heart, I've always preferred to teach in person as opposed to online. If I haven't mentioned it in class, I've been teaching online for a while. Ever since I, as an adjunct, had to, by nature of necessity, have a full-time job during the day, Gannon has been amazing and wonderful and loving and has given me the opportunity to still teach by teaching both online and evening classes. For me, I really like the opportunity of teaching online. I thought it was a really amazing opportunity. It's I feel where some of the future is going as far as the dynamic of classes and technology and everything, and I was very excited to get involved. And luckily for me, the professor that was there before me had set up the module, the Blackboard class and everything, and all I had to do was change my name, change my Meet My Professor section, change the syllabus to my name and my information, and just basically go along with the class. It was already set up for me. Awesome. Very simple and wonderful and beautiful. And so I noticed that part of the assignment for the class was there were these discussion questions that were going to happen every week. And the way they were set up is there would be an ethical question that you had to respond to, and then you had to respond to someone else's response. And you could get 10 full points for doing that. You would get 5 points for your response, 5 points for responding to someone. And I really liked the questions that my predecessor had set up. They were really, I thought, they were, to the chapter, but they were also relevant to the modern time too. It was really, really well done. And I wanted to be a part of it. And I kind of missed that, not being able to have that interaction face-to-face with my students. And so the second week of the online class, I saw the ethical question. I won't go into the details of what it was about, but I was really interested into it. So I actually responded on the discussion board. And I gave my opinions. And the end of my opinion and my thought, my ethical idea was, what are your thoughts? ? And a day later, I got an email from one of my students, and their email said, Professor Pryor, do we have to respond to you? ? And that was the email. And I knew what they were asking. They were basically saying, was it a required assignment that they respond to what I said in the message board? But it hit me in a different way too. And it made me feel like when you teach online, you are more of a grader than a teacher sometimes. And I feel that's a lost opportunity. Whereas face-to-face, I feel like I actually am I am a teacher. So I took some time and I replied and I said, no, it's not required, period. Sent my email. Later on that day, I got a reply, oh, thank God, ! And that was that. And so when I was looking at what we're going to do moving forward, I wanted to keep assignments going because I don't ever want to make you feel like Heath. Heath is down there. We'll get to him in a moment. But I don't ever want you to feel like these are have-to-dos and that my class is just a forced situation. I know my class is a core requirement for just above 99% of you. The last I checked, there's no philosophy majors in my class. I apologize if any of you are. But I'm a have to. It was a class that you had to take. Now, hopefully you took my class because you wanted to have me as a teacher. But I'm not going to make you take any more exams than I said I would. So we did our 4 and we're good. But we still have to do something between now and the final. And I would rather that be a want to do something than a have to do something. So that's why I did these writing assignments and these questions that are going to count towards your attendance and participation. And no, you don't ever have to do anything more than what I say is a requirement and give a point assignment to. That having been said, I would love to hear from some of you guys beyond the assignments. I know you're taking care of your environment and your situation in your life, and you're doing what you have to do, and I appreciate that. But I am also a very honest person, in case you haven't figured that out when I've taught, and I miss you guys, and I hope I hear from you guys and see you guys. So that having been said, let's move on. One other order of business is we have, as I can tell, we are on chapter 9 and 10 right now at the time that I'm sending you this video. We have chapters 11 and 12 that I'm going to combine together for a week. We have 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. Those are 3 weeks worth of assignments. We have 4 weeks worth of the semester left before the finals. Easter break is in 2 of those 4 weeks. So I need you to meet me in the middle. I have set the week of April 13th on as Easter break. Basically what I'm saying is I'm going to take a week and we're just going to have no assignments. It's going to be your vacation and your break online. Whether you want that to be next week, the 6th through the 12th, or if you want it to be as I have it set right now, the 13th through the 19th, let me know. Majority rule is going to win on this one. If I don't hear from anybody, because you don't have to reply to me, then I'll just go with what I do. I understand that, and that's fine. But I would really prefer to hear your ideas on which week works better for you. Okay? That having been said, I am absolutely open to any ideas on what you feel would be relevant and work for this class. Basically, I have a plan of 2 chapters, a writing assignment that will count for your attendance and participation, beautiful little Easter eggs, my little trivia Jones going, and that will count for your attendance and participation. And I'm basically going to count it towards your what would be considered your group grade 2. But if you have any ideas on what you think could be added into this between now and the end of the year and I can make it work, I would love to make that work. Now, when I look at what we have set for the final, I imagine one of the other questions is going to be if the chapters that we have from the time we left, basically chapters 9 through 16, if they weren't part of the exams, are they going to be on the final? Yes, they are. Now, in the past, when I do a final, I take my ideas for the questions for the final off of questions that I've already asked on the exam. So you can imagine the questions that I ask you for your discussion questions, for your attendance and participation on the chapters moving forward in the online part of our semester now. Those are going to be the material. Those are going to be the questions I'm going to be looking towards for creating the questions on my final. So that really is all I wanted to do. I just wanted to give you a general idea of the structure moving forward. If you have any questions, please follow up and ask me. I have one question for you, though. I have a trivia question that's going to count for attendance and participation for watching this video. Now, you do as much research as you need to figure this out. So this isn't one of those, if you know it, you don't. This isn't a bonus. This is a required attendance and participation question for watching this video. You know I'm a fan of Breaking Bad. I am Heisenberg with my evil, nefarious buns. I just got all the villainry down. I'm Heisenberg, I'm Goldfinger, I'm Dr. No. If you're going to point that end, point it towards me, not towards my class, because I don't need it, Anyway. But let's not talk about Breaking Bad. Let's talk about breaking quarantine. We're in this unusual, bizarre circumstance where we have shutdowns, we have lockdowns, we have self-isolation, social distancing, and quarantining. But if you decide to break quarantine, if you decide to break social distancing, if you decide to put others at risk when you might very well be the carrier of a disease or a virus or a plague, you might get called a particular name. And this name is a historical name for a female Irish person who, in her time, had a particular disease and ignored isolations and quarantining and literally got hundreds, possibly thousands ill, and it may have even cost them their lives. What is that name? And if you know that name, then what you're going to do, obviously this is in a Dropbox because I have the video. Although I will say this, I am getting a little tech savvy here. So when you see this video, there may very well be a Dropbox attached to it. Use the Dropbox and respond with the name that I am looking for, or email it to me. But it's going to count 5 points towards your attendance and participation. I am going to require you to respond to this. And just to wrap up, I miss you all more than I can even try to say. And so that's why I'm hoping the interaction is a want to and an enjoyment. There was something about you guys this semester that when I found out that we were going online, I think most other times, with the exception of a few other classes, I would have dreaded it. Because I would have known it was going to be complete. Just all they're going to do is turn in their assignments and that's it. I'm not going to hear from them again. And I would just go along and grade the assignments and that would be it. Something about you guys, though, I honestly feel we're still going to be in touch. I feel I'm going to be hearing from you all. I'm going to be getting little videos maybe every now and then from you all. You've seen my cat. Let me see your pets. Introduce me to people in your family, whatever you feel comfortable with. Send me pictures. Don't let me lose this amazing connection that I made with all of you before this happened. Because if you get lucky in life, you get to do what you want to do, and someone hands you a paycheck for it, and it's a really awesome thing. And you don't go to work, you go to your job. And I still want to every week look at my emails, and I want to be online, and I want to interact with you guys, and I want to be doing my job. I don't want to go to work. And I would like to believe that you all want to be a part of my class and you want to interact with me as opposed to have to. So that having been said, no, you don't have to send me a video or send me any pictures or just let me know how you're doing or offer or suggest to me when we can get together and do like a Zoom video or whatever. That having been said, please, God, I need some people to bounce my Joe Exotic Tiger King thoughts off of. I am suffering in isolation, and my wife, God bless her, spin the camera around. She can.
Hi guys, I miss you too. I really do.
She can only hear so many of my ethical thoughts on that documentary before she just goes, "Hon, you need to reach out to the snowflakes on
It's
this
true.
one.
I've already heard a lot of ethical thoughts about Joe Exotic. And frankly, I've heard about all I can absorb. So you all need to kind of pick up where I'm leaving off here.
And filmmaking aspects, documentary, and little tricks and bells and whistles that this guy is pulling, whoever the name of the gentleman that's doing this this video. But please don't be a stranger. I want to hear from you all, and I want to, put my head on the pillow at the end of the night and know that you all want to interact with me and not that you have to. So with that having been said, I love you all dearly. Please take care of yourselves. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.